Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your boy Ron, aka Ron the Artist, coming to you live. And welcome to Ron's Recap. I'm here today to recap and review the TV show Growing Up Hip Hop LA, Season 6, Episode 29, titled Push It to the Altar. Now let's get into it. Let's get into it. This episode pretty much, was coming off of last week's episode with TT and Sean's wedding. TT and Sean's wedding. Last episode, it wasn't looking so great at the end, and this weekend we got to see it, take off. So let's get into it. Let's dive into the deets. All right, so the episode started with TT a little bit on edge still. She's still on edge and about the pace of the wedding and the details of the wedding and what's going right and what's not going right. And she was just ranting and wondering about, things going smoothly. Sidebar, automatically, TT's face was so puffy. So puffy. And I could tell that she was crying like probably all night and day. Like she had been crying a lot because her face was so puffy on top of the situation she had already going on her face. And I'm just like, dang, TT, like, please just cheer up. This is your big day. Cheer up. Somehow, some way, it's gonna be okay. And it turned out. So next up, TT getting a text from Pepper, a draft text for a letter that wasn't supposed to be sent to her, but it was a letter apparently expressing her feelings regarding the wedding and drama leading up to TT's wedding. A bit much. Like, again, I'm unaware of the drama that took place, between them, like in the most recent seasons, but something got to be done. Something has to be done because it seems like it affects the family. This beef and feud has affected the family in some way, shape, or form outside of Egypt, Pepper, and TT, and they were once upon a time very close. TT was introduced on the show by Pepper in Egypt. So I feel like they need to somehow, some way get back to that. And I really hope they do really soon. So on to Lil Twist. I cannot take that man serious. Lil Twist, I cannot take that man serious. Like, that man out in the rain. You know how last week's episode was titled, I Can't Stand the Rain? Well, apparently he can stand the rain because he out in the rain, acting a darn fool, jumping up and down, slides, running in the rain, just doing the utmost, like playing, dancing, running in the rain. Like, what? I was like, come on now, Twist, put it together. Also, I'm still adjusting to the sight and the feel of this new relationship that he's abruptly introduced us to. Like, it's probably genuine. I'm not doubting that, but it just don't feel right how he just shoved her in our faces out of nowhere when he was just also single since he'd been on the doggone show. This season as well, just doing the most. And I like Lil Twist, but I don't like the actions of Lil Twist, or at least of that nature, I should say, because it's something was all the way wrong about that picture. And honestly, somebody in his corner should probably call him out about that. Just my opinion. Okay, so next up, Egypt and Sam, they're in the studio, wishing they were at TT's wedding, of course. Disappointed that they aren't there. Meanwhile, Tretch gives them a call on FaceTime, and he's drilling Sam and Egypt about the legal troubles that Sam is in. And in regards to this affecting his daughter, Egypt, Tretch sounded so stern and concerned about Egypt's well-being, and as he should, that's his one and only daughter. If I'm not mistaken, that's his only child, I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think it might be his only child. And that she's just, again, his daughter. They say a daughter is a man's best friend. Clearly, they have that in there somewhere within their relationship. At one point, Egypt was so innocent and just young, and you could tell he very much sheltered her and loved on her any way possible. Like he was really there for her until, Sam came in and kind of took place, took over. And you can't blame Tretch for being concerned about her relationship or her marriage with Sam, because you told that man, when you promised him, when you asked for her hand in marriage, you told Tretch, Sam told Tretch that he promised to do right by her, provide and always be there for her. But how can you always be there for her and provide and do right by her if you in legal troubles, locked up, having guns charges and associated with XYZ, and then on top of that, just so anxious and ready to give up the relationship in regards to your legal troubles? Make that make sense. Tretch didn't say that part, that last part, but I had to get on that because I'm like, that don't sit real well. That does not sit well with me at all. It just does not sit right with me. But okay, moving on. Tretch said his words. That's that. Everyone is on the hunt to find TT's engagement ring that she lost and was blaming Sean for not insuring it. Girl. I like TT, but you cannot blame your husband for your actions. Yeah, he didn't insure it, but you lost the ring. So that's your fault, but it was to potentially fall back on him because he didn't insure it, meaning it would cost to replace that. So they were looking for the ring. Everybody was looking for the ring. And I'm just like, TT, you got to take the rap for that one. Meanwhile, it's almost time for the wedding. Time is chowing down and people are arriving and still not a sight of the ring. Still not a sight of TT's engagement ring. Resulting to them, being an hour or so late to their own wedding. And that is freaking crazy. That is crazy. Y'all could have pretty much been late to the wedding originally. You remember that last week's episode, they were almost late to the wedding. Almost couldn't make it to the wedding because of flight issues. Y'all practically might as well been in that situation if y'all were going to be an hour late and all the mishaps, I like TT, but I'm just like, it was a lot. It was a lot, TT. It was a lot to hear him. It was a lot. So, an hour late, then what really was a slap in the face to me that I just was so appalled by his little twist, pulling up and watching marriage boot camp at the actual wedding. Rude and foul as hell. Bruh. Watch a YouTube video. Hell, watch some of your videos. Stream some of your songs or something. Why would you watch a marriage boot camp at their wedding? That is just putting negative energy on the situation, on the event, and I was not here for it at all. I was like, nah, bro. Also, I'm happy that Brianna, gave us an update on that situation with TT's cousin. I am. Because I asked last week, I'm like, give us an update on that. I want to know what's the tea with that. And again, apparently she's really hitting it off with that man. She said he's a gentleman and that she probably wants to date him. And I'm happy for her. It's good for Brianna. I don't think we've seen Brianna, really effectively date anyone on this show. I don't think so. So the fact that it's even slightly being explored and happily and naturally, I'm happy to see that. I really am. And I'm proud of her for that. She deserves that. She's been through a lot. She deserves that. She's a good person. In spite of her crazy cuckoo-ness that she have going on, I love her. From one artist to another. Brianna, I love you. And you deserve happiness and peace. And I know that she's a good, genuine person, a good, genuine soul. So, for that reason, I respect and love her. And I wish her all the happiness and peace and love that is to come her way. She deserves it. Again, she deserves it. So, finally, next up. Finally, the results of the engagement ring. It came up. The freaking hotel was probably flipping everything upside down, looking for that ring. within robes and, jackets and all type of clothes, dirty clothes and everything that needs to go out or be changed out. It was found, and I was so happy for TT because the girl already had been crying. The girl already been crying. Face was puffy. Things have not been going smoothly for her at all, and I was so happy, for her. So down the hall they went, down the aisle they went, beautifully. TT, I'm happy for her too. I'm happy for her too. Like the fact that marriage, that wedding, TT and Sean brought out the love of Lil Twist and his new girlfriend, or newly introduced girlfriend is the correct way to say, and potentially to fix JoJo's marriage, JoJo into Tanice's marriage, and inspire that. Let me correct that. It's to inspire and do some cause, some type of light for them to ignite together again. I was happy to see that. That wedding brought love amongst them, and I was so happy to see that. So then to their vows. They got to their vows, and their son started crying. Oh my God, their son started crying, boo-hoo, and it all just he was not for it. And he was holding up the wedding. So Sean went to hold him, as he said their vows, which that was so cute. That was so cute and super sentimental, and that added value to their wedding. The fact that their son was having a moment during the wedding, and the only thing that could really console him and calm him down was the presence of his parents that were in a union at that moment. So that was just super sentimental and heartfelt and warming, and the fact that he said his vows with his son on his arm, that was so cute. That was so cute. Super cute and sentimental. Like I said, it added an extra special moment to their wedding, saying I do. Gotta give a little heart because this episode contained a lot of it. A lot of heart and love, and I liked it. So moving on to the reception. TT's mom had to have a moment, of course. She had to have a moment to read Peppa's letter after she already accidentally sent a text. She probably should have just left the letter, should have just left the letter for later after the freaking wedding. Like, it wasn't the time, in my opinion. TT already had expressed that she wanted nothing to do with them in that moment. She wanted nothing to do with them at that moment. And it should have been left at that. And that should have been respected. But it wasn't. But one thing I will say, the issue is prevalent amongst them, and it needs some attention, clearly. It needs some attention. Peppa seems to be slightly apologetic about what's going on, so we'll see. Maybe Egypt too. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And again, I was just so happy. Like, lastly, I'm just so happy for TT and Sean. Their wedding turned out lovely. Out of all the chaos that took place, it was a beautiful turnout. It was a beautiful turnout. And like I said, it inspired Tanice and JoJo to get back to effectively working on that marriage, and it brought out Twist and his newly introduced relationship. And again, kudos. Kudos. It was a good and beautiful episode. I don't think there's ever been a wedding displayed on Grown Up Hip Hop. Wait a minute, no. It might have been Tammy and Walker's. Yeah, I think it might have been Tammy and Walker's wedding was displayed on Grown Up Hip Hop. The franchise, at least. Not Grown Up Hip Hop LA. So again, I'm just happy to see that. Love, peace, and, battles within marriages, potentially coming to peace. Because again, as I keep saying, I wish JoJo and Tanice so much peace, love, and light. I really hope they work out their marriage. I'm sure they will. I wish them, I'll just give it to y'all in the camera. I wish them peace, love, happiness. They deserve it. They clearly love each other. There's no doubt about that. You could see that they love each other. They have, that hasn't went anywhere. It's just like, again, a big, like, it seemed like communication issue with them, and things have changed within their marriage, which has done damage to their marriage. But you obviously can see that they both don't want to get a divorce. They both love each other. They don't want to leave each other. So again, I hope they get back to that. I hope they get back to that sweet spot and do whatever they need to do to get to that. So that's all I got for you guys this week, guys. Again, it was a good episode. I enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me on Ron's Recap. If you're watching this right now, we're live on Instagram. If you're watching this on YouTube, it is not live. It is pre-recorded from Instagram and taken and uploaded to over there. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, like, share, comment on this video. Let me know how you felt about this review recap. How did you feel about the episode? Let's chat. Let's talk about the episode. Let's talk. If you're watching this on Instagram, let me know. Same applies. Share, like, comment. Let's talk about the review recap. Let's talk about the episode. What did you think? What did you like? What you didn't like? Let's talk about the recap. Until next time, guys. Next week it is. Peace.